Helping your children without controlling them is one of the most delicate and essential skills every parent needs to master. It is a balance between offering guidance and allowing independence. From the earliest years of a child's life, parents are naturally inclined to protect and support. However, as the child grows, so does the need for autonomy, and the parental role should shift from commander to coach. The first principle in helping without controlling is to truly understand that children are individuals with their own thoughts, desires, and personalities. They are not extensions of their parents, nor are they projects to be completed. When you start seeing them as whole beings with their own journeys, it becomes easier to guide rather than dominate. One of the foundational aspects of this approach is active listening. Too often, parents listen with the intent to respond, to correct, or to instruct. But true listening involves hearing without judgment, without immediately offering a solution, and without interrupting. When children feel heard, they feel valued and respected, which strengthens trust and openness in the relationship. Another key to helping without controlling is asking instead of telling. For example, instead of saying, "You need to do your homework now, try it. When do you think would be a good time to start your homework today?" This invites your child into a conversation rather than a command, giving them a sense of ownership over their choices. Boundaries, of course, are necessary. Being non-controlling doesn't mean being permissive. It means setting clear, consistent, and reasonable limits while still allowing room for negotiation and input. This fosters a sense of fairness and cooperation. Instead of enforcing rules through fear or punishment, explain the reasons behind them. Help your child understand the why so they can internalize the value behind the rule, rather than just complying out of fear. Encouraging problem solving is another powerful tool. Rather than solving every problem for your child, ask them what they think they should do. Offer suggestions only after they've had a chance to explore options. This builds confidence and independence. It shows them that you trust their judgment and encourages them to trust it too. It's important to resist the urge to micromanage, whether it's how they clean their room, choose their clothes, or complete a school project. Allow them to take the lead whenever possible. Mistakes will happen, but mistakes are powerful teachers. If you shield them from every misstep, you rob them of essential growth opportunities. Praise is another area where parents can inadvertently control. Instead of saying, "I'm so proud of you for getting an A," try, "You must be proud of yourself for all the hard work you did." This shifts the focus from seeking parental approval to developing self-motivation and internal pride. Emotional support is essential. Children go through a wide range of emotions, and they need a safe space to express them. Avoid minimizing their feelings or jumping in to fix things. Instead, validate their experiences. If your child is upset about losing a game, instead of saying, "It's just a game," say, "It's hard to lose when you tried so hard, isn't it?" This kind of empathy strengthens emotional resilience. Another vital element is modeling the behavior you want to see. Children learn more from what you do than what you say. Show them how to handle stress, make decisions, and treat others with respect. Your example becomes their blueprint. Give your child room to explore their interests, even if they're different from your own. Maybe you were an athlete, but your child loves art. Support their passions and let them lead in choosing activities that excite them. This shows that you respect who they are. Understand that control often stems from fear that your child will fail, make bad choices, or suffer pain. But overprotection can stunt growth. Courageous parenting involves trusting your child's ability to navigate life while being there as a supportive presence. Encourage responsibility rather than obedience. Give your child age-appropriate tasks and responsibilities. Let them manage their time, make decisions, and experience consequences in a supportive environment. This builds competence and confidence. Maintain open communication. Create an environment where your child feels comfortable talking to you about anything without fear of punishment or criticism. When trust is strong, guidance becomes more effective and less authoritarian. Keep in mind that your goal is not to raise a compliant child, but a capable adult. Prepare them for life, not for your approval. That means stepping back sometimes, even when it's hard. Celebrate effort, not just results. This helps your child understand that their worth isn't tied to achievement. Praise their perseverance, creativity, and improvement. This encourages a growth mindset and resilience. Show love unconditionally. Children need to know that your love doesn't depend on their behavior, grades, or achievement. Express affection often and clearly, so they feel secure even when they fall short. Avoid using guilt or shame as tools. Statements like, "I do everything for you, and this is how you treat me," can damage a child's self-esteem and create resentment. Instead, express your feelings honestly and respectfully. Develop rituals that reinforce connection. Daily conversations, weekly outings, first shared hobbies, these build closeness and trust, which make your guidance more impactful. Let your child take risks within safe boundaries. Whether it's trying a new activity, speaking up in class, or navigating friendships, taking risks is essential to growth. Encourage them and be there to support the outcome, whatever it may be. Accept that you can't control your child's happiness. Trying to shield them from all pain only creates unrealistic expectations. Teach them to cope with disappointment and to find joy in everyday moments. Respect your child's privacy, especially as they grow older. Snooping or invading their space can damage trust. If you're concerned, express your worries directly and respectfully. Remember that parenting is a long game. Progress may be slow and full of setbacks. Stay patient, keep learning, and adjust your approach as needed. Every child is different, and what works for one may not work for another. Be willing to adapt. Seek to understand before being understood. If your child resists your guidance, ask questions and listen to their perspective. Usually, you may discover underlying fears, needs, or misunderstandings that can be resolved with empathy. Encourage friendships and social connections. Children learn a lot from peers and need space to develop interpersonal skills. Support their social life without interfering unnecessarily. Be their safe harbor, not their steering wheel. Let them come to you when they need support, but trust them to choose their own path. Provide a stable, loving environment and be ready with open arms and ears when they need you. Reflect on your own upbringing. Consider how your parents helped or hindered your growth and use those insights to inform your parenting. Heal your wounds so you don't pass them on. Practice self-care. Parenting is demanding, and it's easy to become controlling when you're stressed, anxious, or overwhelmed. Take care of your emotional and physical well-being to show up as your best self. Surround yourself with supportive communities. Parent groups, friends, counselor. Sharing experiences and learning from others can help you grow and remain grounded. Finally, trust the process. Children are resilient and capable. With love, guidance, and space, they will find their way. Your role is not to steer every step, but to walk beside them, cheering them on as they become the best version of themselves. As we continue exploring how to help your children without controlling them, it's essential to dive even deeper into the subtle dynamics that define the parent-child relationship in modern times. One of the core aspects to remember is that respect is mutual. You cannot expect your child to respect your guidance and decisions if they do not feel respected in return. This means acknowledging their opinions, their emotions, and their experiences, even when they differ from your own. Children thrive in environments where their voices are heard and their choices are valued. When a child feels like an active participant in their life decisions, they are more likely to take responsibility for those decisions rather than rebelling against imposed rules. Emotional intelligence plays a significant role in parenting without control. Teaching your children to identify, express, and manage their emotions can empower them to navigate life's challenges with confidence and maturity. Rather than instructing your child to stop crying or telling them they're overreacting, help them label their emotions and offer tools for coping. For example, instead of saying, "You're fine," say, "I can see you're really upset right now. Do you want to talk about it?" This builds emotional resilience and fosters trust between parent and child. Teaching empathy through your actions is also powerful. Children learn how to treat others by observing how you treat them and those around you. If you want your child to be kind, understanding, and respectful, you must model those behaviors consistently, especially during difficult moments. Conflict resolution is another critical skill to develop without controlling your child. When disagreements arise, resist the urge to dominate the conversation or force compliance. Instead, aim for collaborative problem solving. Sit down together and discuss the issue calmly. Explore solutions and let your child have a say. This method not only resolves the issue at hand, but also teaches your child how to handle disagreements constructively in their own life. Avoid overscheduling your child's life. Too many structured activities and constant monitoring can lead to burnout and limit your child's ability to explore their own interests. Provide downtime and unstructured play. This is where creativity, self-direction, and independence flourish. Let your child experience boredom from time to time. It often sparks imagination and self-motivation. Another important factor is understanding your child's temperament. Each child is born with a unique set of traits and tendencies. Some are naturally more cautious, others are adventurous. Some are social, while others are reserved. Adjusting your parenting style to match your child's temperament shows them that they are accepted and understood rather than needing to change to meet your expectation. Technology has added a new dimension, the challenge of non-controlling parenting. With the digital world becoming more central in your child's life, it's easy to fall into patterns of surveillance and restriction. While boundaries are crucial, it's more effective to educate your child about digital responsibility than to simply monitor every move. Have open discussions about online safety, digital etiquette, and the potential consequences of their online action. Encourage them to come to you with any issues or questions instead of hiding their digital lives out of fear of punishment. One of the most liberating lessons for parents is understanding that the child's journey is not a reflection of their success or failure as a parent. Your child's achievements or setbacks do not define your worth. Parenting without controlling requires detachment from ego. You are a guide, not the author of their story. You can offer wisdom, resources, and support, but the decisions and outcomes ultimately belong to them. Encourage self-discipline over imposed discipline. Let your child learn to manage their responsibilities and time rather than relying on you to enforce structure. Help them create routines that work for them instead of dictating every step of their day. The more agency they have in shaping their routines, the more committed they will be to maintaining them. Let go of perfectionism, both in your child and in yourself. Mistakes are inevitable and essential. Celebrate the courage it takes to try and fail rather than only praising success. Show your child that you accept and love them even when they fall short. This teaches them to be compassionate with themselves and others. Use affirmations that reinforce autonomy. Instead of saying, I'm proud of you, say you should be proud of what you've accomplished. This shifts validation from external to internal and supports a healthy sense of self-worth. Encourage curiosity and experimentation. Let your child try new things and be okay with the messiness of learning. Whether it's cooking a meal, writing a story, or starting a small project, support their efforts and resist the urge to jump in and correct them immediately. When your child makes a poor decision, resist the instinct to lecture or say, I told you so. Instead, use it as a teaching moment. Ask, what do you think went wrong and what would you do differently next time? This keeps the focus on learning rather than punishment. Avoid labeling your child. Labels like lazy, shy, or smart can box children into roles and limit their growth. Even positive labels can create pressure. Instead, describe behaviors, not identities. Say, I noticed you spent a lot of time helping your friend today, rather than you're such a good person. This encourages children to see themselves as evolving, rather than fixed, challenged societal expectations that don't align with your child's authentic self. Whether it's gender norms, career paths, or interests, help your child understand that it's okay to be different. Empower them to define success on their own terms. Offer unconditional support during transitions. Whether your child is starting school, entering adolescence, or preparing for adulthood, transitions are moments of vulnerability. Be present, empathetic, and reassuring. Let them know that your support doesn't depend on outcomes, but on their effort and honesty. Practice mindfulness and presence. Being physically present is not the same as being emotionally available. Make time to connect deeply without distraction. This could be as simple as a daily check-in, a shared activity, or a bedtime conversation. These moments build a foundation of trust and emotional security. Explore your child's world with curiosity rather than judgment. If your child is passionate about something unfamiliar to you, take the time to learn about it. Ask questions, show interest, and support their enthusiasm, even if you don't fully understand it. Share your own experiences vulnerably. Talk about times you struggled, made mistakes, or changed your mind. This humanizes you and shows your child that growth is lifelong and that it's okay to not have all the answers. Encourage autonomy in relationships. Allow your child to navigate friendships and social dynamics without excessive interference. Offer guidance when asked or when necessary, but resist the urge to solve every conflict or prevent every hurt. Relationships. Teach resilience, boundaries, and empathy. Support your child's identity development without projecting your own dreams or fears onto them, whether it's about their interests, their values, or even their identity in areas like gender, culture, or beliefs. Give them space to discover who they are. Encourage them to think critically, ask questions, and form their own opinions. Be patient with resistance. Children, especially teens, will push back against authority. It's developmentally appropriate and often necessary for their growth rather than taking resistance personally. View it as a sign that they're developing their own voice and perspective. Stay calm and open during these times. Apologize when you're wrong. Models accountability and teaches your child that everyone makes mistakes and that making amends is a sign of strength, not weakness. Create family rituals that promote connection and joy. These can be simple, like Sunday dinners, movie nights, or evening walks. They foster a sense of belonging and stability, which strengthens your child's emotional core. Let your child witness your passions, your struggles, and your efforts at self-improvement. Share what you're learning and how you're growing. This models a lifelong love of learning and self-awareness. Avoid comparison to others, whether it's siblings, peers, or children of friends. Every child is on a unique path. Comparison breeds insecurity and competition. Support your child in being their best self, not someone else's version of success. Respect the rhythm of your child's growth. Some children develop certain skills later than others, and that's okay. Don't rush maturity. Instead, support the journey with patience, trust, and encouragement. Remember that your relationship with your child is more important than any rule, grade, or performance. When faced with a dilemma, ask yourself, will this strengthen or weaken our connection? Choose connection more often than correction. In the end, helping your children without controlling them is about love, trust, and faith in their potential. It's about shifting from the role of enforcer to that of ally, from dictator to mentor, from fixer to supporter. It's not always easy, but it's profoundly rewarding. You will raise children who are confident, resilient, compassionate, and true to themselves. Children who don't just follow instructions, but who lead with integrity and heart. The journey requires continuous self-reflection, flexibility, and deep empathy, but the result is a lifelong relationship built on mutual respect, understanding, and unconditional love. You will find that as you give your children the freedom to grow, you also grow as a person and a parent, becoming not just someone who raises a child, but someone who empowers a human being to thrive in their own right, built on mutual respect, understanding, and unconditional love. You will find that as you give your children the freedom to grow, you also grow as a person and a parent, becoming not just someone who raises a child, but someone who empowers a human being to thrive in their own right,